Hello and welcome to the second of Reuben Rants. As you can see, the title today is Hating Tony Blair Makes Us Stupid. And this is partly a response to the inquiry and the discussion of the inquiry, but I'm going to start by talking about Blair masks. You know, people turning up to demonstrations in Tony Blair masks. Quite simply, what the fuck is that about? Do you know anybody who turns up to a demo in a Blair mask? I don't know anybody, but as Jesus said about the poor, they are always with us. So, yeah, I mean, maybe there is something about this form of theatrical protest that I'm not getting, but what does it even mean? You put on a Blair mask, I'm Tony Blair. I mean, does that indicate your disdain for his politics, for him even? Sometimes you see people with a Blair mask on and they've got a t-shirt that says terrorist or something. I mean, it's pretty good. Look, I'm Tony Blair and my t-shirt says terrorist. That means Tony Blair is a terrorist. Anyway, please, if you go to demos in a Blair mask, please enlighten me, because it seems rather silly. The media like it, and it makes us look silly and rather craven. Perhaps it is undercover agents. No, I'm not serious. Okay, so that's the first element of Tony Blair is making us stupid, or hating Tony Blair is making us stupid. What I'm really thinking about, though, is the inquiry. You might have seen today that Claire Short has made a lot of the front pages. The big news being something she says somebody else speculated upon about Tony Blair's psychology. She has said that she spoke to Gordon Brown, and Gordon Brown confided in her that Blair's place in history, Blair's obsession with his own legacy, was what led Britain to war. And why am I talking about this? Partly because I think this is a silly non-story. It's hearsay, and it's not hearsay about a material fact which can be demonstrated one way or the other. It's hearsay about what someone speculated was going on inside the head of somebody else. So it's silly in that regard, but it's also this infantile obsession with the person of Tony Blair. That seems to be the mode with which we explain a great event, the mode in which we are explaining the Iraq War. You might remember when the war started, people said it was all about oil, and sometimes we were a bit too simplistic, but that was quite a serious explanation. It was the kind of explanation which was, well, it invoked the cause which was at least proportionate to the magnitude of the event. If you've been reading the newspapers over the past few weeks since the inquiry started, you could be forgiven for thinking the question of why Britain went to war and what's going on in Blair's head are one and the same, and this just doesn't strike me as very plausible. Wars don't happen because Tony Blair went to somebody's ranch and they made an agreement drawn in blood, as the line kept being regurgitated. They don't happen because somebody had a massive ego. It certainly did have a lot to do with Blair. Obviously he was a driving force. Members of the cabinet were reluctant, but insofar as it has something to do with Blair, let's start looking at his politics. Let's start looking at his ideology. The fact that he had a big ego is no explanation. It does not offer any illumination as to why he sought to exercise this big ego, as it were, in relation to Iraq. So yeah, let's drop the obsession with Blair. Maybe could members of the Labour Party who voted for war, or didn't resign when their resignation could have averted the war, which after all has killed hundreds of thousands of people, if they could stop being so hypocritical, that would be good. We all know Blair is a deeply unlikable figure, but that explains nothing about the causes of this terrible event, which is the Iraq War. So, to summarise, stop speculating so much about Blair's inner thoughts, and stop fucking wearing Blair masks. Thank you.